Hi, Sargam. Many, many congratulations. So I want to know the moment. वैसे तो वो गाना चलता था ना, बनूंगी मैं मिस इंडिया, but in your case, बनूंगी मैं Mrs. World. When they put that crown on your head, what was going on? Were there butterflies in the stomach?
First of all, I was totally spellbound because I never imagined, I wouldn't say I never imagined this crown on my head. Of course I did. I would be lying if I said I didn't. But that moment turning into reality, I won't lie. I won't lie about that. But that moment turning into reality was itself a shocker for me, because all those days and all those months of hard work and sleepless nights and probably breakdowns, and then finally when you get to see India on that world map, on that stage, you're like, yes, I made it, not just for me, but for every other Indian out there. So it wasn't just me who was experiencing all of that. I think everybody who was watching the show live was experiencing the same, because I got calls saying, Sargam, we had goosebumps when you won. And I'm not trying to play myself up, but I think 21 years had been a long wait. And of course, those feelings were all very genuine.
Absolutely. And I'll be very honest with you, when they posted, like my team, the team here posted about your win, they posted phenomenally well. So obviously there was this kind of resonance. And before I come to Mohini, I also want to ask you, like, this was a question that many were asking, suddenly your journey has been very interesting, and it's been interesting from a young girl who I'm sure you must have dreamt about it. Us time nahi kiya hoga. And then, it's really nice to see, you have made it clear that marriage, nothing should be stopping you from achieving your dreams, which women these days have proved. And now suddenly you've also been a teacher and suddenly being catapulted into the spotlight. What was that like?
So I'll tell you, 2 years ago, my social media profile was a private one. And I was a very private person, keeping to myself, reading books, being the whole studious Sargam that I was, convent educated girl that I was. And then suddenly when I came to Mumbai, my husband said, "Tumko Mumbai ki hawa lag gayi hai." The moment I stepped into Mumbai, something changed in me, the city of dreams kind of, as I said, catapulted. So it kind of catapulted me into this phase where I kept on dreaming of becoming something bigger than myself, something bigger than who I was earlier. And so these last 2 years have been a roller coaster ride for me. And that actually shows when I see my social media profile starting from a private one to now to then becoming a public profile of merely 2,000 followers, and now to 50K. It means like what has happened? What has happened? But I think it was pretty much destined to happen. So I wouldn't lie about that.
I like that confidence. And also, Mohini, now coming to you, I know it's very interesting, but a lot of people raise this question as to why should we have a Miss World vis-a-vis a Mrs. World? Why can't women, irrespective of their marital status, they could be single, married, whatever, participate? And what is, as someone who is the director of this, what are you looking for? What kind of contestants are you looking for?
So definitely dedication and hard work goes without saying. It's not a cakewalk. It's not easy to represent your country, be on that platform. But at the same time, authenticity and simplicity also plays a very major role. And I think that's an essence of an Indian woman. That's an essence of any woman around the world. But at the same time, it's very difficult to find. You will find ladies who are glamorous, who have given their 500%. But I think what Mrs. World is looking for is that simplicity, that authenticity. And exactly that was something I was looking for. And Sargam is a perfect epitome of authenticity.
Awesome. Yes, I can see that. But Sargam, I want to know, with the other contestants, all of them married women, what was your conversation like? Were they all discussing husbands and mother-in-laws and all that gupshup that married women do?
You know what? Actually, yes and no. There were times when we used to, I never discussed my husband, because I and one of my friends over there who became a really, really close friend now, she was like, we've got this time away from our husbands. Let's just enjoy Vegas with husbands. Are you serious? We had our time, we had our laughs about it. But then, of course, there were times when we used to talk about, how life was before marriage and how it is now after, how life has changed after pageantry. So we had our share of good and bad conversations. You know what I mean?
I totally get that. But also, what is your take? Do you think there should just be one common pageant? यार कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता है शादीशुदा हो या नहीं हो.
Well, you know what? I think age does have a role to play.
Yeah.
And I feel that at what age we are, not all married women, but most married women are now we all were at an age in that pageant in Mrs. World and even in Mrs. India. We were at an age where we have experienced a lot of things in life, school, college, job, multiple jobs, getting married to someone, getting married to anyone for that matter, and how life changes after marriage, how life changes after you have in-laws, after you have children, all of that. So we come with an experience which probably not all women have, right? So married women have that edge over the others, I guess. So if we have a similar, one pageant for everyone, nothing better than that. But I think Mrs. Pageants are doing much better.
Anytime.
Yes, we've got the crown here with us. And I mean, glory for India, because Harnaz and now you, I mean, the girls rock. Miss or Mrs. doesn't matter. But मुझे एक बात बताओ, कितनी tough training थी and crown के बाद पहली चीज क्या खाई थी?
Oh my God, crowns ke baad I think we had French fries and we had sandwiches, chicken sandwiches.
Finally.
Yeah. No, the food there was great. I would not lie. We had great food, but yes, the training was tough, very tough. Physically, mentally, it takes a toll on your body. It takes a toll on your emotions and everything, because it's like a boot camp actually. जैसे हम academy में अपने husbands और अपने brothers and fathers के बारे में देखते हैं, तो academy training जैसा ही लग रहा था मुझे. My husband used to make fun of me saying, मुझे तो ऐसे लग रहा है तू फौज की तैयारी कर रही है, and that was one fun part about it. But all of that paid off, Pooja. At the end of the day, it is all about the sweat and blood that I shed. And today, when I'm sitting here with this crown on my head, I feel every ounce of it paid off.
It did. And Mohini, I actually want to ask you, we are celebrating this. We do celebrate, but the downside is we also criticize, itna body pay focus. Why do we need this? What is your take? Because this is something that interests everyone. And, either way, whether it's sports, whether it's beauty, whether it's fashion, who doesn't want to represent their country?
It is known as a beauty pageant, but I think more than a beauty pageant, it is a personality pageant, where a composition of your spiritual side, your physical health, your mental well-being is very much needed. I don't understand how can people think that you can take your body for granted and then you can be mentally well, or you can be emotionally stable and then you can maintain your body. I don't think so that goes very well. There is a stability that is needed spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And this is the kind of training, this is the boot camp that she is talking about. It's when we are working on body, indirectly, we are working on your mental health. And when we are working on your emotional stability, indirectly, we are teaching you how to develop your willpower, whether it's your diet, whether it's your sleep, or anything. So yes, a composition of body, mind, and soul is very much needed. And this is the result when we have someone who could achieve it.
And now for you, Sargam, I've got some questions from young girls who have asked you, firstly, a hashtag that describes you best.
Okay, so these days, hashtag Sargam for Mrs. World is trending. I've been telling my team not to say that again and again because it kind of makes me very nervous. But now that I've won, I'm saying, bring it on. Keep saying it even more.
And now we've changed the hashtag from, so earlier it was Sargam for Mrs. World. Now we have started
Sargam is Mrs.
Sargam is Mrs. World.
The other question is, if given a chance, what is that one thing you would like to do differently in your pageant journey, which you could have done differently?
Oh, well, good question. I think I would stop focusing so much about the Q&As. I was just so scared about Q&As earlier, but then I realized that it is what it is. They're just going to ask questions about your life, from your life. Why do you have to be so scared of human beings at the end of the day? They are just as human as you are. So I think that part I would like to take away from myself, because I just focused a lot on this, and then it turned out to be the best experience of my life, the Q&A.
Who was your toughest competitor there?
Wow.
Over there, Mrs. Canada.
Awesome.
Well-spoken, very leadership, having all those leadership qualities in her, very well-spoken, articulate woman. She was one of my toughest competitors.
Let me ask you, and don't be modest here. Khulle mein bolna. What do you think did it for you? Yeah?
Sorry?
What do you think did it for you?
What do you think?
And don't be modest.
Okay, I won't, because I know myself for sure, for one thing, that I am just candid on stage. When it comes to dancing, when it comes to walking, I am myself, and that is what I feel that makes me different. I remember talking to the judges after the show, and they told me that, Sargam, your authenticity did it for yourself. The way you were jumping when you got into the top 6. I first actually thought that I did this little jumping while winning dance, and then I realized I'm on a pageant stage and I have to be like, thank you. And but then I was like, okay, how does it matter? This is me. If you like me for myself, fine. If you don't, then fine, go find someone else.
Now, since the world is your oyster, iske baad kya? I mean, Bombay mein you manifested your dreams. Usually यहाँ से stepping stone होता है हमारी film industry में. कोई plans हैं जाने के?
No. नहीं, अभी तक ऐसा कोई plan नहीं है. My actual plans abhi are to make sure that all the other women who are coming into this pageant world after me, maybe the next batch of Mrs. India, I want to make sure that they have what it takes in terms of a backing from my side, a story to tell. I want to tell them the story of how I became Mrs. World, because it is a very interesting story, because it all revolves around spiritual growth. It revolves around love. It revolves around prayers, and it revolves around all these women who had been praying for me. I say they was just sitting for the last 6 to 7 months. They were sitting on the edge of their seats, living vicariously through me. And that's something that I want to share with the other women, that if through you, somebody is able to achieve their dreams, if someone is able to live their dreams through you, be that vessel, be that medium.
Absolutely. Your biggest fear or insecurity?
तो
she's balancing की crown ठीक तरह से intact हो.
But my biggest fear is I overthink a lot. I am a self-criticizing person. So I'm a Virgo. So
okay, that's a
perfectionist is what I try to be a perfectionist, but then I think a lot. But that kind of works for my favor, because I put in a lot of hard work already before the final exam, and then it turns out to be good.
Your role model?
My husband.
Oh, awesome. What did he say soon after you won? Who was the first call you made to? Husband or parents?
I didn't have my phone with me. I couldn't make a call. I got calls. But when I called my husband, he was screaming like a little baby that he is already. But he also knew that abhi bahut kaam shuru hone wala hai, abhi meri biwi ko aaram nahi milega. And he said, Sargam, I've been charging my phone, and then I keep it, and then it gets discharged again, and then I have to charge it all over again, because itne phone aa rahe, phone discharge hota ja raha hai.
How sweet.
Yeah, so he's just like a child, but this child has supported me through and through this journey.
Awesome. Jate, since you're speaking to Good Times, what is your idea of a good time? And if you can share your beauty routine that others can follow.
My idea for a good time is to live every moment to the fullest, like it's your last, because I think you get this life for this one time, and you only live once, right? So live completely, live fully, enjoy your life. And beauty, secret, I don't have any, because I think under all this makeup lies this homeless little girl who likes to stay in her pajamas and do that top knot and just eat ice cream watching romantic movies. But yeah, just sleep well. That's really important, because I've not been getting a lot of it. So one thing that is important is a good night's sleep.
1 year is going to be very, very, very busy, Sargam. तो फिलहाल कौन सा गाना दिमाग में चल रहा है? आज मैं ऊपर आसमान नीचे.
Oh my God, Jinx! Yes, that's what.
Can you sing for us?
Exactly. Aaj main upar aasman niche.
Awesome. All the very best, and many, many congratulations once again. And well, looking forward to you setting the trend for many more crowns coming India's way. And thank you, Mohini. Thank you so much, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.